So here's a change of pace for you. I'm doing a report on my whiskey distillery tour the next day because last night was too fun, and I got out of the distillery tour, went straight across to get something to eat because I was pretty hungry, and then went over to a whiskey bar. I'll tell you a little bit about that in a moment, but first, Oban and my experience at the Oban Distillery. And by the way, if you wonder whether I'm driving or not, I'm not. I'm actually here waiting. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. There's the ferry that will soon be taking me over to Isla. And so I've got 2 full days, to check out Isla and the whiskey tours there. But Oban, let's talk a little bit about that. It's the only distillery I've been to that is actually in town. So, and I think they said and made mention of that as well. So it's kind of an interesting setting. And it's been in that same setting since 1794. In fact, you get to go in and taste your first dram when you are sitting there, or when you go into the big warehouse area. And he said that is an original building. So very cool to be able to go in there. And we tasted Little Bay, which he said Oban is actually Gaelic for Little Bay. So we were drinking Little Bay, which was kind of interesting. And then I asked him about 1794 that they had listed everywhere, because it's very interesting that the 1794 date predates all the other distilleries that I've been to, who all said that they were doing illegal distilling before that. And so I wanted to find out from him what the deal was with that. And I also did a little of my own research. Apparently an English malt tax came along in 1725, and that's what ended up sending a lot of distillers underground and doing Scottish moonshine. And then it was during that time that most of these distilleries were acting illegally. However, you could still get a license. It's just that it was expensive to do so, and so most didn't. But Oban did. And so that's why Oban has 1794 as their date. So I told you got to taste the Little Bay, and then also drank the Oban 14. And so it was nice to get 2 tastes there for £10, for the tour. So that was pretty good. And then they give you your little voucher there that gives you $5 or £5 off. Gotta get my currency right. And they also give you the whiskey glass. So that was a nice addition to all of it. So as for the tour and the things that I learned, it's such a small distillery. They only have 2 stills. They show their still safe, which is where all of their distilled spirits go through. And they said that since 1976, every ounce of Oban has gone through that still safe. So small operation, nice whiskey. After it was over, I went across the street, or down the street a little ways, and went to have some sea bass, because it was greatly affordable here, better price than in the States, and fresh coming in, since Oban is a port town. And then after that, I was talking to somebody who said you should go to the Whiskey Vault Hotel, because there's a man named John there who has brought his entire whiskey collection in and started a little bar in there. And it's a very cozy little spot. I was in there for a good 3.5 hours, just chatting and chatting and chatting. John was picking out some different flavors of things that I was going to be missing on my tour. And so that was a really nice way to round out the evening. And then I finished with a Guinness, of course, because that's what I do. But yeah, great time on the Oban tour. And I'm on to Isla, and I've got 5 distilleries to do here on Isla. So this should be a lot of fun. A couple I haven't tried before, and some that are, in fact, my all-time favorite is on this particular island. So we will check that out. So don't forget, you can read more notes about, how much I paid for the different distillery tours and the perks that you get and the experience. And all you need to do is just go to travelfuelslife.com/scotch and you will find it. And I hope you're enjoying this presentation.